says it will be shoring. Content in manufacturing exports is currently less than 20%. One way to solve that would be to get suppliers and parts producers to also move to Mexico.
Correspondent Jeremy House. Boeing says it will lay off about 10% of its workforce, some 17,000 people in the coming months. The company's been losing money for more than 5 years, and now it's dealing with a strike that has shut down factories in the Seattle area. New CEO Kelly Ortberg says the job cuts over the coming months will include executives, managers, and employees. The artificial intelligence maker OpenAI may face a costly reckoning with its nonprofit origins, even as its valuation reportedly exploded to $157 billion.
But if your approach to everyday aches and pains is to mask them, you know, feel better for a few hours only to have the pain return and then repeat the cycle all over again, it's time to try Relief Factor. And the good news is Relief Factor makes that easy. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. Instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it. How? Well, its unique formula of ingredients helps support your body's response to inflammation. Relief Factor was developed by doctors. It's 100% drug-free. And for so many people, the results are game-changing, even life-changing. So give it a try. Right now, their 3-week quick start is just $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. See how in a few weeks or even days, Relief Factor can reduce your pain. When you feel better, life is just better. So don't mask pain. Fight it naturally with Relief Factor.
It may involve some red tape here and there, but there is some new hope for hurricane victims in the matter of insurance coverage. Correspondent Lisa Dwyer has more details.
Residents in states hit by Hurricane Helene who had coverage through the federal flood insurance program but let it lapse may be able to renew and still be covered from the storm's impact. Certain policyholders in 7 states affected by Helene now have extra time to renew. Usually, people with policies in the National Flood Insurance Program get a 30-day grace period to renew policies after they expire and still be covered. The agency is extending that grace period until November 26th. Congress created the federal flood insurance program more than 50 years ago when many private insurers stopped offering policies in high-risk areas. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Breaking news and analysis found at townhall.com. I'm Ron Taylor. Mexico's new president has laid out a plan to combat drug cartel violence. Here's John Scott.
But analysts say it looks like more of the same. President Claudia Sheinbaum plans to increase intelligence and investigative work. He largely failed in his own plan to bring down Mexico's homicide rate. Sheinbaum wants to rely on the militarized National Guard, but her top security official pledged that the Guard will function as a police force. John Scott reported.
Stocks rose to records as J.P. Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, rallied on better than expected profit reports. S&P 500 climbed 0.6% Friday. Its all-time high this week. The Dow jumped 1% and notched a record. The Nasdaq Composite lagged the market with a gain of 0.2% after a slide for Tesla kept it in check. More news at townhall.com. I'm Ron Taylor.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVDF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests.
Can we leave them here? Yeah, you can.
Hey, Joey, what's happening?
You know what?
What's happening in Middleboro and surrounding town?
Oh, your Facebook ain't going yet?
It is. It's going on.
Where is it?
Oh, behind us.
With your host,
I'm yellow.
The same spot where it always is when we have guests.
I'm yellow. Chuck is,
Yellow? Okay, yeah, oh, we got
am I red?
red, yeah.
Red, yeah.
Yes. You're red.
So good to be back.
And 3, 2, 1. And good morning and welcome back to another edition of Middleboro in Review. Or welcome into another edition of Middleboro in Review. For any new listeners out there who might be tuning in for the first time this morning.
If you are tuning in, you got in for a surprise.
Yes,
So there
yes.
we got Chuck Hart back.
Yes, Chuck Hart is back once
Back
again.
in the house,
Good
Chuck
morning,
Hart.
Chuck.
It is so good to be back with the dynamic duo, father and son team. Honestly, it's good to be back. I apologize for not being here for about 6 months.
We'll get you next time. Duct tape in a trunk. So, you know what I mean? So we're going to try to get back on schedule. Usually Chuck was usually the first Sunday in the month, but hopefully we'll be there next month, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
All right.
God willing.
I don't know where you live, but I'll find out.
I live in
Yeah.
I'll give you my address off mic.
All right, well, we have our weather. Let's start with our weather today. 68 degrees in Driscoll, Texas currently. A high of 94 today. Pretty beautiful day. It's going to be pretty beautiful throughout the first part of the week. And then cooling down a little bit, but it'll be pretty nice this week in Driscoll, Texas. 68 right now, a low of 67 with a high of 94 today, clear skies. Driscoll, North Dakota, a high of 39, not a high of 39. The current temperature is 39, there we go. The high is 54 with a low of 32. The low temperatures are starting to dive a little bit in Driscoll, North Dakota, Dawn. About 2 months from now, we'll probably be talking about snow. Probably less than that. Probably like a month from now, we'll be talking about snow in Driscoll, North Dakota, Dawn. So,
Yeah.
39 right now. High 54. Cloudy skies today in Driscoll, North Dakota. In Taunton, 32 degrees.
It's colder here than in Driscoll, North Dakota. Look at that.
So, you know what that means? We hit our first frost last night.
A little bit.
A little bit. Wasn't a hard one.
No.
Frost.
My windshield was a little frosty, but my mirrors were not.
Yeah. So 58 degrees today for the high, cloudy skies, 32 for the low. Tomorrow, 37 for the low, 65 for the high, and it's going to rain. And then the lows start to dive a little bit, and the highs as well start to dive. We're going to be only in the 50s for the highs on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday before going back up a little bit. So it's going to be cold over the next few days, especially on Friday evening. So if you're going out to a football game, definitely bring out the jackets because it's going to be pretty cold. Then Middleboro, 32 degrees, a high 59, and a low of 32 with cloudy skies today and rain tomorrow, a high of 66 with a low of 37 tomorrow. And there is your weather. Next thing I want to talk about, we always talk about it here on the show, it's very, very important, and that is blood drives. We have several going on. We've one in October, on Monday, October the 14th, at St. Anne's Church, 660 North Main Street, Raynham, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. for that blood drive. In November, we have two. Wednesday, November 6th at Holy Cross Church, 225 Purchase Street, Southeastern, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. And on Tuesday, November the 12th, at the Lakeville Public Library, 4 Preston Street in Lakeville, 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. for that blood drive. And on December 7th, at the Dorothy L. Beckworth Middle School, 330 Winthrop Street in Rehoboth, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. for that blood drive. So plenty of blood drives going on if you want to go out and give blood. And we also have several blood donation centers where you can give blood anytime as well. So have all of that. Any thoughts, Star?
No, I've mentioned before, I'm really, you're a really good guy to do that. I mean, you pushed the blood drives during the pandemic. You pushed the food pantry in Middleboro.
Yeah.
Got a lot of exposure for the food pantry, and that's the way you wired, and I think I appreciate that.
All right, and the last thing we're going to do is our Today in History. Is 1775, the Continental Congress establishes the Continental Navy, the predecessor to the U.S. Navy. 1792 in Washington, D.C., the cornerstone of the United States Executive Mansion, known as the White House, is laid. 1903 is a good one. The Boston Red Sox win the first modern World Series, defeating the Pittsburgh Pirates in the 8th game. Our friend from Pennsylvania must be listening to that, and is probably very sad about that.
I think we get over it.
But we have that. Birthdays: 1925, Margaret Thatcher, English politician. I apologize there. English politician. Prime Minister of the United Kingdom back in the 80s. I think she was first elected in 1980, Don? I believe so?
I believe so, yeah.
Yes.
I believe so. 79, 80, I think, yeah.
Yes, led the United Kingdom through the Falkland Islands war there, and many other things that were going on in the UK in the 80s. A lot of different issues that were going on.
Well, you know, the UK was one of the major members of NATO. I mean, kicking back the Iron Curtain at the time. I mean, it was out of the Cold War. So, I mean, all that was going on too. People got to remember that too. I mean, all these European countries were they were right there facing down the Soviets.
Yes, very important birthday as well from today. In 1941, Paul Simon was born.
Nice.
Yes, one half of...
Get off the bus, Gus.
Make a new plan, Stan.
Don't sing it.
Oh, that's right, I can't sing it.
One half of Simon and Garfunkel. Don, I think you've talked about this several times. After 9/11,
Yeah,
Simon.
9/11. When Saturday Night Live came back on, they had all the first responders and Mayor Giuliani spoke or whatnot, and Paul Simon did The Boxer, which was, you know, a New York song. It's the heart of New York. I don't think it was a dry eye where I was at, and it was just like one of those things. It's just the song really hailing. It was, you know, a song for hailing in a way, because it's just New York. I mean, you can knock buildings down and terrorize the people, but the people won't be terrorized. The people will come back. The people will, are stronger than that. They're stronger than evil. And sometimes music does it for you. You know what I mean? It coats your soul, and music is the healer.
Absolutely.
You know, it's a little tangential, but two thoughts. First of all, I believe there's a Saturday Night Live movie that's out that people have been talking about.
I did see that, yes.
There is?
Which I really want to see.
Oh, about the like a true story
I
thing?
believe so.
About the first night.
About the first night.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Now,
Oh.
1999 is a little bit far away from 1975, but you and I vividly remember the original cast.
Oh, yeah.
And how great that show is.
Yep.
And the second thing was I was going to say, and I don't remember what I was going to say, so I can't say it, but there was something that I wanted to say that had to do with, music. My dad, as you know, has Alzheimer's, and yesterday he can't tell you what he had for breakfast, or sometimes he doesn't recognize me, but he can sing Frank Sinatra, he can sing Paul Simon, he can sing Garfunkel, he can sing Elvis Presley. So there's something about music, there's a magic in music.
Yeah, I
There's no
mean,
doubt about it.
Glenn Campbell's last tour.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, he didn't know his name. He couldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
I think he could play. He knew all. He could play. And
For those that don't know, Glenn Campbell was also diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and just
Right.
It's great,
Right.
great story.
And there's
great
a
story.
there's a show out there or a concert series about his last one, and his daughter had a lot to do with it. It was almost like a documentary sort of, and he didn't miss a beat.
Absolutely.
So it's funny how music does that. I mean, it's just I guess, you know, if it's the last thing you think about, let it be music.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
I totally agree.
Let it be music, because I mean, Joe was talking about that Saturday Night Live with Paul Simon, and that just made everyone feel better.
Yeah.
I mean, all the speeches and all the it's fine, but you get a song that's about New York, The Boxer.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knows The Boxer.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it would have been better, Garfunkel was there, but
And they've had incredible bands and singers over the years that have been on
and terrible ones.
Really bad ones too. Yes,
Really bad
exactly.
ones, too.
1942, Jerry Jones born on this
There we
day.
go.
The
Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys
Yeah.
owner. Yes, exactly.
Was that the guy who wore the hat? Who was
He
that?
might have back in the
Bump
day.
Phillips, I think.
That was-
I think the coach Bump
He might have
Phillips.
back in the
I think it's Bump
Oh,
Phillips that used to wear
he used to wear that hat.
But,
You know? It was like a regular hat. It wasn't even a.
Tom Landry.
Tom Landry.
Tom
Tom
Landry.
Landry wear a hat? He was always
Yes.
dressed to the nines on the
Absolutely.
sidelines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was known for that.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
Bill Belichick would wear that New England Patriots sweatshirt that had stains all over it. Yeah, he was kind of a glamorous coach. The other guy that we just spoke about. Yeah.
Here's an amazing one for.
How old is he?
He's going to be 80. He's 82 today.
Oh, he's a spring chicken.
Yeah, he's young.
Yeah, he's 82. Another great local legend's birthday today. Doc Rivers, born on this day in 1961. Of course, he was the head coach when the Celtics won their 17th banner.
2008.
2008. Yes.
2008.
Their 17th banner. Yep, and now we have 18. But yeah, he was there as head coach. Where we
I'm glad. I'm glad. I mean, I know Brad Stevens wasn't the coach, but he was part of the organization. I'm glad
Absolutely.
that the Celtics won down there because I think Brad Stevens a class act.
He is probably one of the best
I think so.
basketball operation managers.
I can't say enough for him, and the guy's a class act. I mean, the guy. Some people are just class acts. They just conduct themselves well. I know they're in the spotlight, and I know, you know, people can get on your nerves, but you know, it's just people who just run their mouths, and there's people who don't.
And next up, we have a pair of Celtics greats. 1977, Paul Pierce, born on this day in 1977. He was part of that 2008 championship team. And Jermaine O'Neal also played for the Celtics. He was born on this day in 1978. And another local sports legend for the Patriots, born on this day in 1985, Brian Hoyer. I think he just recently retired. I think so. I think he recently retired. But he was on our team for many, many stints, many years as a backup, and it was great. He was great as a backup. And in our passings for today, we have one from 1974, Ed Sullivan.
Oh, wow.
So there's your Today in History birthdays and passings. 7:20 a.m. Let's take a commercial break here, and then we're going to speak with Chuck Hart and see what's going on recently with
Chuck?
Yeah.
Chuck and also the food pantry.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
We'll be back with Chuck.
Yeah, so
Stay tuned.
we'll be right back.
One more Chuck.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, they're having a big can drive today at the Shaw's in the Shaw's in
Located at 48
Carver.
Park Street in Brockton, Massachusetts, offers the highest
Oh, really? What's this all? What's all this?
This is they have the Giving Tree program, which is part of the.
Oh, Vincent.
Yeah.
St. Vincent.
Yeah, yes.
And believe it or not, they're already getting sign-ups, October the 16th.
Yep.
No, we were just talking about this. It's like you go from Thanksgiving to.
Steve is like,
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, you'd probably be doing
What are you guys doing Saturday night?
coming up. I don't know. Don't know.
All right, I'm gonna make an offer to you guys in a couple of seconds.
Okay.
Coffee with Tony.
Actually, I gotta go to Tony's after work. After this, you know, do a cleanup.
Those cassettes.
We have a couple of cassettes that
How cool
we
is
still
that?
use. Yeah.
They still sound good.
Wow.
They still sound really good. Yeah, exactly.
That brings me back to my childhood.
I don't know why they even got rid of them. I mean, they're better. They were better than the CDs. So they're better than the albums. No scratches. You had to deal with scratches with CDs and albums, but not.
Yeah.
I mean, if something bad happened to a cassette, the thing would be melted and it'd be done.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. What do we got on?
We have members from nearly all 50 states and living abroad. Many members continue to serve in our armed forces, with several serving in combat areas now. who sponsor and or participate in many motorcycle-related charity events each year, and as a nonprofit organization, donate to various veteran care facilities and veteran charities. To learn more about the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association and how you can join or support...
Is your son still in Texas?
He's right now. He's in NATO. He's doing exercise. He's in Lithuania.
Is he?
He was in Latvia. Now he's in Lithuania. And it's a scary time to be in the military.
Yeah, just so cooler heads prevail.
Yep, that's exactly what I was just thinking. Cooler heads prevail.
Yep. You don't want to be fighting Russia about
No. And you know, he was telling me that they could get a Russian mid-jet day within 6 minutes from where he is, if where he is in Latvia.
But vice versa, too, though.
Yep, absolutely. He's in the Bradley, he's dealing with Bradley tanks, he's in the Bradley unit.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. 3 seconds here. 3, 2, 1, and 0. And we are back here on Middleboro Reviews. I turned down the bumper music, and 7:24 a.m. we now switch gears to what's going on with Chuck Hart and also the food pantry. So we switch it over to Chuck.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Lots of things going on, but I wanted to go today. I have my thing in front of me at the Shaw's. This is all related to the food pantry in St. Vincent de Paul's. At Shaw's today in Carver, from 9 until it looks like till 2, they're doing a food drive. So you can come in with what do we say? That's non-perishable items. From 9 to 2 at the Shaw's in Carver, Mass. So come on down. I'll be there in the afternoon along with some other volunteers. Always looking for volunteers. We have a brand new website too, and that's it. It's really cool. It's SVDP. So St. Vincent de Paul Middleboro.org. So we're looking for volunteers and all types of things. And then, believe it or not, the 2024 Giving Tree program, John and Joey, is starting. Sign-up's going to begin October the 16th, and it ends November the 27th. And each eligible child, ages birth through high school, will receive 4 Christmas gifts of clothing and/or toys. And then there's a list to sign up. You must bring birth certificate for each child, proof of residency. So if you live in Carver, Lakeville, Middleboro, or Rochester, you can bring that proof of registry, which can be a residency, which can be a phone bill, a bank statement, a utility bill within 60 days, and proof of guardianship, and then suggested gift items and sizes. And current pantry recipients must have an up-to-date review on record. So that's all stuff that is coming up. And then there's a fundraiser, an Italian dinner, and I don't know if I'm saying this correct. Is it Ricciardi's or Riccardi's? In New Bedford, there's an Italian restaurant, so it's either Ricciardi or Riccardi. But the tickets are $40, and for details, you can contact Bill Lawrence at 508-942-0140. Again, that is Bill Lawrence at 508. Don't ask me to memorize that, John, either.
No.
942-0140. And they're also being sold, I believe, I know Mucky's Liquors is selling them, and I can't think of the other stores, but they're $40. But because of the wonderful relationship that you've had over the years, Joey and Don, with the St. Vincent de Paul Food Pantry, I would like to have you both be our guest. The tickets are $40, and I'm willing to sell them to you for $39.95 at a discount. You can have them each for $39.95. No, I am going to. I would like
really?
to pay. Yeah, no, $38.50. I would like to pay for you both. I'm going to buy. I would like to offer you both a ticket right now. I'd love you to be my guest. I purchased.
When is it?
That's not important. No, it is Saturday, Saturday, October the 19th. It's this Saturday.
Okay.
I would love you guys. And this is supposed to be a really cool place.
Where is it?
It's going to be at, you're asking tough questions. 200 Oak Point Drive, because the fundraiser is being hosted by Oak Point. Yes, Oak Point's Friends of the Food Pantry.
Okay.
So you got to let me know in the next 30 days. You don't have to if you can let me know the next day if you're available.
Absolutely.
But I'd like you both, because you guys have done such a great job, like your dad said, Joey, of really talking about this, giving me the opportunity.
Is everyone going to be there? All the food pantry brass?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully. They're having a little bit of challenging. The ticket, the price is a little high, I think $40, but I'm not going to criticize because it's not my place to criticize. But $40 in this economy is a lot of money.
Yep.
That's why I'm willing to sell it to you guys for $38.50. I'll go as low as $37. for both of you.
No,
No,
where's your
compliments.
thing?
I get the thing. No, but I'd like you both to be my guests. I'm going to have a table of some Chamberlain students also.
Oh, really?
So, because Chamberlain's National School, we volunteer, so please be my guest. And just, I would like to have you both there. And if people are interested in buying these tickets, again, they're $40, and it all goes to the food pantry. You can call again Bill Lawrence at 508-942-0140. 508-942-0140. That's Bill Lawrence. And you can, I know for sure you can get them at Muckies and maybe Hannaford's. There was a couple of other places, but Muckies for sure.
Right.
So, and that's what's going on. And then we get, like I was saying to Don before, we pretty much go right into this fundraiser to, it'll be Thanksgiving before you know it, and there's already signups. There'll be signups for Thanksgiving meals for families, and then we go and for veterans also, and then we go right into the Christmas season. So a lot of good things happening. But try to come down to Carver today, if you can, on the Stop and Shop off of Route 44. Excuse me, not the Stop and Shop. That's the one went out of business. Shaw's, off of 44.
Not 58, 44, right there.
58, 44.
So where CVS is.
Yeah.
And McDonald's right there.
Yes,
and
exactly.
That's that's the Shaw's right there. It's easy in and out.
Yeah, and come and bring bring just like or buy a raffle ticket if you like, because I'm sure they'll be selling those there. Or not a raffle ticket, but the Italian dinner, and bring a non-perishable food product that we'll be using for Thanksgiving and Christmas and moving forward. So an exciting time of the year at the St. Vincent de Paul Food Pantry.
Yeah, you got to remember too, during the pandemic, they really helped out. I mean, they are still helping out, but I mean, during the pandemic, when a lot of people were just laid off, terrible time in our history. So I mean, but it's still tough out there, and I mean, maybe you benefited from it, but it's just like just if you anything, a lot of people do. They go into the supermarket, grab something off the shelf, and then drop it off the way out.
That's great. Anything that people can do. We're so much more than a food pantry, and I think it's important that we know that. There's a clothing vendor that comes in. The name of it escapes me, but there's also, we can help people with their electric bills. We can help people. We also there's programs where you can get some financial planning advice. Not what you're going to pay. You're going to sit down with a financial planner, but how do you make a budget? How do I get out of debt? Because those things are very important. Because we really want to help people we can help them so they can be as independent and solvent as possible. So there's all types of help and job readiness and all types of wonderful things. So come down and visit, and the Patrick, and they do such a great job down there. And we had our Belinda, the female, our first female president that took over from me as the shortest administration in the history of the St. Vincent de Paul nationwide. I think I lasted about 34 days before I had to resign because of my health. You didn't know that? Was it William? Who was the president that got a cold and died like
Harrison.
Yeah.
Harrison.
William Harry Harrison.
That was how many days did he last?
31.
Yeah, so my administration was about 31. No, I went a little bit longer than that, but
Can you write a book about your administration?
All right.
oh yeah, it's quite a story. But and Dave Cunningham, who's the food pantry director, would love to come on too.
Absolutely.
Well, we've had Dave on before, and
He's an Eagle Scout, by the way, so he's real smart.
Ray LaPrey.
Yeah, Ray's a good man.
Yeah.
I just saw Ray the other day.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I mean, it was great dealing with him.
Absolutely.
But I mean, it's just your health comes first, and you're sticking around a while now.
I hope. Yeah, I got you shared last week. My poor dog has an operable and incurable cancer, so it kind of spread from his liver. It's deep in his liver too. It's in his liver and his bladder and his spleen, but he's hanging on. They gave us a checklist of 27 things to look for. When you have to, because we don't want to really make that end of life decision, but we also don't want him struggling. So he's still eating, he's still going to the bathroom on his own. He's meeting all the metrics that he needs to meet, but we have a very tough decision to make in a short period.
Well,
of time.
maybe he drank some of that Hudson River water.
Yeah.
That's a cure for everything, right?
He did great up there. He was he was like, we went to a street vending fair, and he did really, really well. He did well, so.
All right, 7:32. We're going to take a quick commercial break for our news headlines, and we'll be right back here on Middleboro.
You taking a commercial too, Joey?
Well,
the commercial
I already took the commercial at 7:20. So the next commercial will be like 7:45, 7:50 or something.
Yeah.
So let's take
I'd say yeah.
Yes. Exactly. Speaking of Oak Point, we'll have a story on Oak Point in just a few minutes after we come back from our news break. We'll be right back here on Middleboro Review on WBA 1530 AM 99.7 FM.
I'd love you guys to be my guests because you guys do so much.
What's it? It's a dinner?
It's a dinner.
Yeah, it sounds right.
And it's a really good.
Joey?
Absolutely,
yeah. What time does it start?
It starts at 6 p.m. And this place is doors open at 5 and dinner's at 6.
Okay, at the clubhouse, right?
Let me just make sure. It must be. No, the Oak Point Ballroom.
Yeah, the clubhouse. Yeah.
Okay. I've never been there before.
And you're gonna have some students with you?
Yes.
How many students?
We're gonna have, if you and Joey come, because I have 10 tickets, so if you and Joey come, I'm 7, probably like 5.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they volunteered there, they do a great job.
Right.
The
spaghetti dinner?
Yeah, it's supposed to, and it's fully catered. This place is supposed to be really cool.
Yeah.
They tell me that it's a good dinner.
Yeah.
I just think they got a little bit angry at me, but I said the price is a little. I mean, that's a lot of money for.
Oh, you told them that?
I did.
Yeah.
I'm like you. I said I don't want to rain anyone's parade here because they're having trouble selling tickets.
Right.
And I said, well, I think you're having trouble selling tickets.
How many tickets do they sell? Do you think they might have to cancel?
I think they're going to go ahead anyways because I think it's too much legwork to cancel it. But they may not.
Well, they got the deposit with these people and stuff like that. So I mean,
and then they down the size of it. We'll only let them use X amount of it's less than what they used before, but still at $40 a head. And I don't know if that's why they increased the ticket. If that's why they increased it, but I think that's an awful lot of money. In this economy, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's not even. I mean, one person with a meal and a couple of drinks. You know.
And you're talking about spaghetti. I mean, it's not the most expensive. I mean, I'm sure they're going to have other things.
Yeah, meatballs.
But still, and then they have a cash bar by the.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No free drinks.
No. That probably doesn't include like a free soda or anything like that. So.
Right.
I'd love to have you guys. I really would.
Right.
Love to have your volunteers too with you. They're always looking for individuals to help. So.
Yeah.
Their website.
I went down there and filled all the paperwork out and talked to them. I was gonna drive the truck, but I'm always got something going on. I mean,
and you know what?
It's hard.
It is hard.
I mean, the only thing we can really do is what we do here. You know what I mean?
And that's great. This is fantastic. This is like this type of.
We never would have met you. I mean, that's
It's true. Think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my administration went from like October to like March, April. Then I hurt myself, and I didn't even realize my whole neck was. I've showed you a picture of my neck, how bad that looks.
October to March. That's more than 34
I
days.
was kidding, but it was a very short-lived presidency.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't 34 days.
They're already positioning for me to come back, but I don't know what's going on when Linda's term is up. If she doesn't want to run.
They should like have a power sharing thing.
Yeah, I agree. They have an e-board. There's like she has 2 vice presidents.
Yeah. I mean, maybe one guy could be the tiebreaker and be the boss, be the Tony Soprano.
7 seconds. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And we're back here on Middleboro in Review. As I was talking about prior to our news break, we have a little bit of a news story with Oak Point. Oak Point had their annual yard sale to support Middleboro High School graduates. They with scholarships and stuff like that. They have an annual yard sale every year, and this year's yard sale raised over $40,000. A little bit about that. The Oak Point Homeowners Scholarship Fund celebrated its most successful fall fundraiser to date back on October the 5th. After raising over $40,000 to support Middleboro graduates, the association raised a total of $41,459 at its yard sale with the help of 150 volunteers from the Oak Point community and 20 student volunteers from the schools that received scholarships. All sorts of goods, including furniture, tools, electronics, and seasonal decor was sold. The net profits for the sale, will go towards scholarships for the 2025 graduates of Middleboro High School and vocational support for the students, for the Middleboro students who go to Bristol Plymouth Regional Technical School. The Oak Point Homeowners Scholarship Fund President John Barbage said this week's event was the association's most successful fall yard sale to date. Last year's event raised $35,000 to support high school students from Middleboro. So congratulations there to Oak Point.
It's a lot of money.
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah, that's pretty good. One day. Was it just one day? A weekend.
It was just one. It was just one day.
Wow.
$41,000 in just a day.
Wow.
Yeah. So that is pretty huge. That's a pretty big deal. Something I wanted to talk about and get Don's opinion on, because we were talking about this last week, and especially between last week and now, special town meeting took place in Middleboro, and special town meeting voters agreed overwhelmingly Monday to put the brakes on the MBTA zoning requirements that could potentially add 1,471 housing units in Middleboro. Don, they rejected the plan.
That's funny because the town of Milton went to court over it last week. It was last Monday, and I guess it's funny too because I went to town hall to get a birth certificate. I was born in Milton. I had it's a registry business I have to deal with. So I was talking to one of the clerks, and she's like, "Oh, we're not doing too much about it." But the whole thing about that was they're considering, in the Milton's case, they consider the Mattapan trolley as rapid transit.
Really?
Yeah, and I guess having that in the category, must bring up the amount of housing units you're required to have.
Yeah.
I mean, a bus route's different, so, I mean, she didn't really want to talk about it. Obviously, she didn't, whatever, she didn't want to do anything. But people are looking at it, and it's just, we both said it at the same, we both said it at the same time, like it was stereo. Not one thing fits all, or whatever.
Yes.
It's not a fit all situation.
Yeah.
And it seems like government seems to work like that, and it's not realistic in my opinion. I think it's a great idea. I commend the governor for doing it, trying to push things forward, get people to use the T, but we need a T to use first, right?
Exactly.
They gotta, I mean, they've been promising, now the red line, they closed the red line for all those times. Now it's back open again. Now
it's the orange
Now
line.
it's gonna be the orange line. Now the green line. Probably the red line again. It's just, when is it ever gonna end?
Exactly.
And it doesn't seem like they're not telling us what They're telling us to close another branch when they open another one. That's all they're telling us.
Exactly.
So, Middleboro shot it down, huh?
They did. They shot it down. Another thing that happened this week, and I don't know if I can find, happened at that meeting, and if I can find it, we'll talk about it.
Middleboro was supposed to have a South Coast Rail already operational right now, and it's not. Yeah, it's going on the second time. Supposed to open in August. It was supposed to open last December, and now they're pushing to May, and are they going to open it in May? They're not telling us nothing.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're really leaving the public in the dark as far as the repairs. I don't think they're being. I mean, I go through a lot. I'm a tea geek. Okay, I really am, and I go through everything they pop out, and they have their briefings and stuff like that, but it's not transparent enough. It's not.
Well, that's purposeful. I think their lack of transparency, Don, is purposeful.
I always talk about the guy in New York. I call him Guy Smiley. Okay?
And you do not know who Guy Smiley is. But
yeah, we all know Guy Smiley.
I don't.
You don't know who Guy Smiley is?
I don't.
I'm going to play Guy Smiley all the way back home.
Please, 1999. What would he know?
Yeah, he should know a little bit about
He
Guy
probably doesn't
Smiley.
know Freddy the Frog or Henrietta the Hippo from the News and Review either.
Yeah, no, well, everyone's got a Guy Smiley. Well, this guy, he's MTA spokesman for New York. And the guy's unbelievable. He knows how to pitch something.
Yeah.
Repairs. He just knows how to do it. I mean, it's brilliant. And it seems like the MTA in New York's pushing a lot faster than the MBTA here. And it's funny because Philip Yang came from New York.
He did. Yes,
So,
some of the other people in that structure, in that leadership of the MBTA also came, I believe, from New York as well. brought a couple along.
Brought some talent with him. So
can you imagine that they were attempting to bring the Olympics to Boston? And one of the big things, they looked at the infrastructure of our public transportation, which is really laughable. I mean, you guys do this, you know this. You go to other areas, and the public transportation is it's efficient, it's clean, it's everything that the MBTA isn't. I used to, in the mid '90s, I had to rely on the MBTA. And it was a crapshoot whether or not I was going to make it work. I was working right near Children's Hospital.
Well, we ride out the system. I mean, we definitely.
So you guys know.
We definitely put our money where our mouth is, and every town we try to go to, we try to ride something, or we try to ride a commuter rail. Or we did a couple this year.
How much tracks got on the commuter rail?
Yeah, we're taking that ride before.
Oh yeah.
And the day we took it, they were shuttle busing because they were working on the signal.
You'll appreciate this. This is totally tangential, but I was at synagogue yesterday in Swampscott, and I was on a mission to find David Portnoy's parents. You know David Portnoy from Barstools?
Yes.
David Portnoy was actually in this area. He does One Bite, Everyone Knows the Rules. So he was at the...
Was that that pizza thing?
Yeah. So he was in the Smitty's in Taunton, but also in Middleboro. He went to Stoney's. What's the one that's in back of...
Stoney's?
Yeah, he did Stoney's, and he did the other one that's over by St. Vincent. It's over by the Sacred Heart Church.
Did he do Central Cap?
Yes, he did Central Cap. So I know that he did Smitty's, Central Cap. Anyways, he's a Swampscott guy.
So he must have been on a Bob's Pizza crawl.
He was. Exactly.
Because that's all these places feature.
So David Portnoy, if you're listening, David and I went to, his sister, Shelley, graduated a year behind me, and David, we went to Hebrew school together. So David, if you're listening, you gave Monty's and Lynn, which is bar pizza, you gave it a 10, and I totally disagree. It's about a 7.8, because I'm very stingy with my pizza. But I would give the cafe, I think he gave Smitty's in Taunton like a 7 and 8. I haven't been there, but I have been to the other place, and they're pretty good.
7 and 8's good.
Yeah, 7 and 8's. People don't realize it. They're like, but that's not great. It's like 1 to 10, but to get to a 10, it really good. But Monty's and Lynn is not a 10. But he gave it a 10, I believe, because of the nostalgia, because he used to go there all the time with his parents when he was younger.
Well, it's memory.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, there's pizza places that I'm not going to be mentioning names, but...
Oh, should I not mention names?
No, you can. No, I'm not going to mention names because to me, this place isn't really that good like it used to be. I think it's more nostalgia. You know what I mean? People showing up. It's more tradition. It's the it's the old paneling. That's...
You're not talking about Santapio's in East Boston, are you?
No, Santapio's awesome. They still open?
Oh yeah, they're good, and they take credit cards now, Don. They built a satellite. You guys are smart on this. So supposedly they built one in Peabody, Mass, and somebody said that the ovens, like the one in Santapio's in East Boston, the ovens are probably 100 years old, 80 years old. Do you think that's true? That the ovens can like make the quality of pizza be good?
Maybe. It's funny because it's like old pots and pans for lasagna.
Yeah.
And Italian mothers really. I'll tell you a story. I tell this to Chachi LaPret all the time because there's a drummer. His name's Vinny Appice, and he actually played with the John Lennon band. I'm not sure if he did an album or tour, and he was with other bands after that. And he had some lasagna he brought to this recording studio, and John Lennon loved it. I heard this from Vinny himself, so it was true. And she's like, get me some more of that. Just unbelievable. He said, okay, I'll ask my mom. And then he said, Vinny, I got a whole thing of lasagna. Bring it to your friend, but make sure I get my pot back, my pan. All right, make sure I get my cooking pan back. Oh, yeah, no problem. Gives it to him. Doesn't get the pan back. Years later, I'm not sure how many years later, she went to visit John Lennon, and the first thing she said to John Lennon? Where's my pan?
Yeah. So there's truth to it then.
It is definitely truth to that.
Because I know Santapio's, the one in Peabody, is not as good as the one in East Boston. And the same thing for Pizza Regina, the one in the North End. Pizza Regina has all these satellites now. And I've got the one in Medford, Mass is pretty good.
And popcorn too. A friend of ours, okay, we visit. He makes us popcorn in this old, cast iron thing. It's got to be 50 years, 80 years old, whatever. And makes the popcorn so delicious.
I love popcorn.
And you cook it in the pan. You not microwave. Yeah. It's to die for. It's really good popcorn, and it's the pan. And I've had conversations with my friend too, who's a culinary chef, teaching and stuff like that. And he's told me a lot about that, and I've learned a lot about being clean, and a lot of people get sick, it has a lot to do
Yeah.
with the food, how long they got the food out, the touching of the food.
Yeah.
So I've learned a lot because I listen to them. You know, I listen to you. I really do. And I haven't got my stomach problems. I used to have a lot of them probably because of where I ate and stuff like that. Now I'm real picky about where we go. Maybe we'll skip a meal, and maybe there's some places that will never get you sick. And then you go stop at a restaurant, and then an hour later you're like, oh. So you got to be careful. Right?
Since we're on the topic of pizza, shout out to Pleasant Cafe.
Where's that, Joey?
That's I believe that's in Roxbury, Don, right? West Roxbury?
No, it's
where is it?
Rosendale.
Yeah, sorry.
What is it?
Rosendale.
Pleasant Cafe?
Pleasant Cafe. It's in Rosendale on Washington Street.
Barstool pizza? I mean, bar pizza, or is it like?
No, it's Italian.
Oh,
My favorite. Oh my God, it's the best.
I'm on a pilgrimage.
Every time we go to Children's Hospital over the years, we always stop there and have pizza. We'll sit down, and it's got the it's like a 1960s time machine. This place, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And
one more time, the name of it, so I want to add it to my bucket
it's
list.
Pleasant Cafe.
Yeah, Pleasant Cafe in Rosendale. A great place. My father took me there. Half the places I know, my father took me. Because my father, was from the Boston area, so he knew a lot of areas. A lot of places are gone now. There used to be a place called Cuddy's Donut Shop.
Yeah.
All right, in Jamaica Plain, and would have it would be right on High Park Ave, and you know where the best food was there? Yeah, that's it. Yep.
They get a very high rating.
Oh yeah, they were really good.
Yeah.
Was the meatloaf dinner? So Cuddy's Donut Shop made the best meatloaf.
I love meatloaf.
Oh, it was. When I rode with him on the oil truck, it was awesome because we used to ride around and he knew the best eats, and he ate good. You can't eat good anymore.
No.
I mean, I don't know. I have a few places I stop, but he knew every place he stopped was good.
Yes.
Everything was good.
So this for you, Don, is not only good food, but it's nostalgia too. It's both.
It's memories.
Yeah. Because the first thing that it says was one of the best restaurants of all time, amazing food and service at Pleasant Cafe is like stepping back in time. I mean, I want to step back in time.
Yeah, it's
I always want to sing and I can't sing.
Yeah,
there's Michael, what's his name?
There's another place in Wayne.
No, the guy that was in Back to the Future, Michael J. Fox.
Michael J.
I want
Fox.
to start singing, but I can't.
Oh, yeah.
Because you'll yell at me.
Yeah.
You get very upset when I sing.
Yeah, you know what? The manager doesn't like that.
Speaking of Michael J. Fox, I do have something on
that
topic.
Joey will get the nasty phone out.
Speaking of Michael J. Fox, since we're on that topic, when we come back from the commercial break, I will share a little bit of a thing I saw, a concert clip I saw with that involved Michael J. Fox. Coming up.
Huey Lewis? Huey Lewis in the news. I wanted to start singing that, but you won't let me. The management will be upset. I'll be taken out of here like on the Gong Show. Remember they used to take them on the hook on the Gong Show? Joe, 1999, you wouldn't know the Gong Show.
7:50 a.m. Let's take our last commercial break right now. We'll be right back here on Middleboro Review on WVBA 1530 AM, 99.7 FM.
I appreciate this, Don. I'm gonna take my family there because this looks
awesome.
There's so few restaurants that are good now. I find everything mediocre. Everything. So
Bell's is good too in Wareham. You ever been there?
Nope.
For Italian food?
See, I don't like seafood, so I'm glad you didn't say seafood because we're not seafood people. But I and the same thing with the satellites.
Bell's has a lot of good seafood.
Talking about the satellites, like Kelly's roast beef. The ones they have one in Danvers, they have one in Saugus. They're not as good as the original one in Revere Beach, but that doesn't have to do with pots and pans, would it? I mean, but they're just not as good. I find the satellites not as good.
I don't know. I think it's in your head.
Do you?
I think it's in people's heads because we're talking about the Lindenwood and Randolph, so busy kind of place. You know what I mean?
Have you tried the one, the Spa Pizza in Stoughton?
Town Spa?
Yeah, the Town Spa.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I've heard mixed. They don't take.
But you know what?
They don't even take credit cards.
I got family members who love that place.
Yeah, I do too.
I got family members.
Friends that, but they don't take credit cards there.
And you know what it is? It's just their hangout. It's more
it's
that.
nostalgia, like you said. It's like
nostalgia.
It's part of the.
Even though he.
Yeah, but Portnoy Joey was in. He did Smitty's. He did the Stonies. He did. He gave Smitty's, I think, a 7.8. I've never been to that one, but I hear good things about it. Yeah. People are talking a lot about this hot honey that people put on their pizzas. You guys do that?
I like pineapple. Do you like pineapple?
I think pineapple
He
belongs.
yells at me. He looks at me like, who would do that?
We used to get a Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah, it's ham and pineapple.
So the question is, does a pineapple, Joey, belong on pizza?
No. There's so many things I want to say, but the Facebook is on.
But you know what? He's like my father, so picky, right? He never liked steak and cheese subs, so I took him to get a steak and cheese sub.
Steak and cheese.
And then he's like, now he's a steak and cheese junkie.
No, I'm not.
You know? No, not anymore, but you used to be.
Take him to Philly.
Where?
To Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I think I would like a Philadelphia cheese.
You just
steak.
can't.
I think I would like
You just don't want onions and peppers and all that crap.
Yeah. But I think I would enjoy that.
I have a friend, I told you, 6'10", 6'11". He should come in and he works for the tea, and you can grill him. Like I'm always grilling him. Like, what's wrong with the place that you work?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he'd want to do that.
Yes, he does. He doesn't care.
Really? He's fired.
No, they don't fire anybody at the tea. Seriously, when he applied for the job, they said to him, "What hobbies do you have?" He says, "What do you mean?" He goes, "When you work here, you need a hobby, a secondary hobby." And he goes around telling that to everybody, waiters and waitresses.
What's he, a bus driver?
No, he's maintenance. He works like but he's a train fanatic. You would love him just for his train fanatic. He loves trains. Anything trains.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 3, 2,
Got his dream job.
1, and 0. And we are back as I turn down the bumper music. There we go. Real quick, we're talking about Michael J. Fox before the break. Michael J. Fox recently, actually, I think this was like maybe a year ago now, performed on stage. He played guitar on stage with, I believe it was Coldplay. And that clip made the rounds all over the internet, and that's pretty cool to see. Michael J. Fox, you know, he's gone through a lot of health issues.
He's dealing pockets.
Yeah, in his life.
Yeah. What a resilient. He is so resilient and so. Of course, John and I remember him way back with Family Ties.
I never watched Family Ties. I never liked that show.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I don't like you anymore.
No.
My Family Ties.
So you take the ticket?
Yeah. I'm going to actually charge you guys $48 for it. Speaking of those tickets, just real quick.
You know what? I got.
Please call Bill Lawrence at 508-942-0140, and don't prank him, and don't tell him that the tickets. Don't tell him that I said the tickets are a bit much, but this is the.
But I mean, it's a good cause.
It is a good cause. It's a great cause.
I mean,
it's a great.
But
cause.
I mean, who knows what they had to deal with to get? You know, maybe they'll go in there and the restaurant, the food is awesome, and then the people go down.
How would you? Let's have a debate. How would you pronounce that? Listen, I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you. Joey, what do you think? Riccardi's or?
I say Riccardi's.
Riccardi's or
Riccardi's, maybe.
It's Riccardi's.
I mean, some say tomatoes.
There's a Riccardi sub shop in Braintree, and it almost looks like Richard's. If you
yeah.
You know that place? We've been there before, right?
Well, it pass it all the time on the trains. It's right there, right?
Yeah, right in Braintree, right? Yeah.
And Bridgewater State University has the Lou Ricciardi School of Business. He's been involved in Bridgewater State University.
Maybe the mail's unbelievable. I don't know. Who knows? I mean.
So please think about because, like you said, it's a great cause.
It is a great cause. I mean, we appreciate you coming on and talking about it. I'm glad you're back with them. You're happy to be back with them.
Oh,
right?
I get such joy being. And if anybody wants to volunteer, if you go on the website, just Google St. Vincent de Paul, and because it escapes me, it'll take me 25.
Chuck is the guy Smiley of the St. Vincent de Paul.
But when you look at all the pizza stains on my phone, you think I'm kidding? It's like John can tell you, there's a lot of pizza stains, chicken grease from Popeyes. I gotta clean this thing. It's disgusting. Chick-fil-A, Cane's, all this type of stuff. It's just
all right.
Like an office space.
Our last couple of things here that I want to talk about.
Joey, that was good. Good redirecting them.
Thank you. The last couple of things I want to talk about. We'll talk about the Rexa Inc. Issue next week. Dawn and I will do so. Rexa Inc. Their TIF. Their tax increment financing agreement, I think it's called, was approved by town meeting
Middleboro?
On Monday, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it sounds like Rexa is coming to Middleboro.
Oh, that company there, over
Yes.
across the street from Lorenzo's, right there. That
Well,
vacant
that's
property.
where it's going to probably be, yes.
Yeah, well, that's it used to be the drive-ins there or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. You told me.
I don't know.
Across the street from Lorenzo's, that vacant
No
lot.
idea.
Yeah, I saw a sign go up there. There's
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop there tomorrow.
But was that a drive-in years ago?
I'm not sure.
All right, 7:57 a.m. here. Let's see. A couple more things we want to talk about here before the end of the show. Early voting for the presidential elections coming up. It starts on for Taunton. This is for Taunton. I think I have Middleboro in here somewhere, but we don't have time to mention both Middleboro and Taunton today. So let's just do Taunton today, and then next week we'll do both Middleboro and Taunton. Let's do the early voting here. Taunton City Hall, 15th Summer Street, on the second floor in the Silver City Conference Room is where early voting will take place for Taunton. It starts Saturday, October the 19th, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sunday the 20th, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. The 21st, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The 22nd, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Wednesday, the 23rd, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The 24th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The 25th, 8 a.m. to noon. The 26th, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The 27th, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. The 28th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The 29th, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. The 30th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The 31st, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And Friday, November 1st, 8 a.m. to noon. Any questions may be directed to the Elections Department at 508-821-1044. You can email the Elections Department at elections@taunton.
I know a lot of people work 6 days a week, so that's Sunday.
So, yeah, I was gonna say they're open on Sundays.
Yeah, that Sunday really helps.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Is that 2 Sundays, Joey?
So
I
let's
think
see.
it's 2 Sundays.
Sundays? Yes, it is.
When you
It's-
went through those.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
great.
2 Sundays.
Yeah,
So
wow.
I mean that's important. A lot of
Yeah.
people, who knows, a lot of people working a lot of hours. There's a lot of people who are away too because of the linemen, for the Hurricanes,
Yes.
and they're gone for months at a time. So we keep those people in Florida, in North Carolina, Georgia, all the people that are affected by the 2 hurricanes in our prayers and our hearts, and all the people who are out there working hard away from their family. It's very important to understand that those people are sacrificing to make sure people get their way of life back, and I appreciate anybody. And I remember driving around the last power outage we have, and I'll be blaring Wichita line, bringing them waters. They loved it. I got a loud stereo in my truck. I pulled out with water, and it was like, they're loving it. You know what I mean?
Can you sing what you were playing on your truck?
Yeah, we'll sing like sing in the parking lot.
All right. And
I'll
with
give you a
that,
license for that.
and with that, I want to thank Chuck Hart coming on
Yeah,
today.
thank you, Chuck.
Always great to be here.
It's always good laugh. It's always fun.
Thank
Joy
you.
in the room with you.
Yep, and thank
back
you,
at you,
Don.
Don.
Oh, yeah,
Well.
hey.
All right, well, tomorrow, tune into Middleboro Matters because I have a great guest.
Eric Dunn.
Once a month, Eric Dunn comes on. Tomorrow is the day. Me and Eric are going to be talking about sports, everything that's going on. A little bit of a debrief, maybe on the Red Sox will probably be in order. The Celtics, the Bruins, all that stuff going on. So join me tomorrow on Middleboro Matters with me and Eric Dunn. Until then, have a great rest of your weekend and go Patriots as they take on the Texans today.
With Drake May starting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's going to start today. Now, did you move Middleboro Review to Monday versus Thursday?
Middleboro Matters is now Mondays.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. Yep.
What time? It's at noon?
11.
11, okay.
11 a.m. to noon.
All of my students will listen to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that day from my house, I literally had and I didn't even realize because I wanted to hear you guys, and I'm literally in my pajamas at the old town hall in
That was
Dayton.
2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. And I said, if the police could come by, I never so why are you sitting there and have me get out with my Mickey Mouse pajamas on, my hair 25 feet in the air?
Well, at least you have pants on, so that's good. I mean, that's all they're really looking for.
Bye, everybody.